What's going on, YouTube? In our last video, we talked about equalizing the master track, compressing the master track, and in this video, we're going to talk about limiting, when and where and why to use a limiter. All right, so limiter, mostly on all tracks, on master tracks, you want to use a limiter, but a limiter needs to be the last dynamic affecting plugin you use. When I say that, I mean the last plugin that will affect your dynamic range or affect the volume of your song. So these things right here, they don't affect that. These two right here, you see I got a stereoizer and a visual. This is just to see my peaks and everything. They don't affect the volume. They just, well, this one affects the shape of the stereo, but it doesn't affect the volume and the dynamics of the song. So this needs to be the last plugin for dynamic effect you use. So let's get into it. Alright, you see right here I'm using an Oxford limiter, and I'm just gonna set the controls at a default so we can hear what and how we use a limiter in this kind of setting. So right now, let's play it at just a minimum level. Let's just play it real quick. Alright, so I don't know if you can see it, but right here in this area right here, we mostly at a -6 decibels of volume. So right now, that's where we at right now. So we want to kit it up at least to about a 1, or really people like to get it up to a 0, and they like to just push it. But I don't believe in pushing it, but that's what people like for that music. They want to push it to the limit, and they just Rick Ross it. So let's get to it though. All right, so let's talk about attack, and then we're gonna talk about attack, release, and the soft knee. Then I'm gonna start adding the gain to it and show you how it works, I guess. So attack is just basically like a compressor, how fast the limiter comes on, and you want it to kind of come on kind of fast. You don't want it to be a slow. You don't want it to be that slow. But we want it to kind of come on fast. But as you're, you gotta listen to it. You gotta listen to it with some good headphones. With some precision headphones or some great monitors to tell the difference. Cause I mean, it may be a different sound at an attack of 0.40 milliseconds, or a different sound at 0.05 milliseconds. So it might give out a different or a punchier sound or a softer sound. However you like it. You just gotta go with the flow. In the release though, I'm gonna go with a moderate release. Let me see. I'm gonna do a 16.5 milliseconds release. And like I say, the same thing for the attack. It's the same thing for the release. Just listen to it and see what you like. But the release basically just how fast it cuts off after it has tucked whatever you're trying to tuck in under it. So and I mean, like I say, it affects the sound of the song, wherever you have these wherever you have your attack and release at. So I mean, that just listen to it and see what you like. It might be a subtle sound, but that's why you need some good headphones. So invest in some good headphones. And like I say, some good headphones to go with, or some Shears 440s, Yeah, 440s or some AKGs. What is it called? The MK217 headphones. They're great. Those are just like monitor headphones, pretty much. All right, so let's play it, and we gonna start adding gang to it. All right. Alright. You hear how that just got louder, not peaking. Cut the output down a little bit so it won't, so I'll make sure it won't peak. Alright, so you just heard how it got louder. Which what it does, you know. I mean, that's what it's job to do. And I'm gonna put the output like on a negative 0.05, you know, just to make sure it don't go over. You know, keep it at a nice subtle volume. And on this particular limiter, we have different types of function, like the enhancer. In the enhancer, it basically makes the track fatter. You know what I'm saying? Like when you hear those songs and they have it sounds fat. Like, wow, that song sounds kind of fat. How did they get that effect on there? It may be an effect, maybe, but it may be an enhancer or something like that, or it may be a stereolyzer. But I mean, we don't know. Yeah. In this case, it might be my enhancer because I have it right there on that plugin. Because our limiters don't come with that enhancer. But I'm gonna show you some more limiters. So we can cover all areas of limiting. A maximizer is basically kind of the same thing, same kind of plug-in. So right here, I'm going to click the hold on, this computer is tripping. Oh my goodness. Okay. I don't know where that thing is. And then we're going to click one more. And we're going to leave it at that. And let me just show you the different type of limiters we have. And I can promise you that most of them do the same type of function with the release and the attack, just like a compressor. And some of them mostly just have a threshold where you bring the threshold down and the volume starts to increase. So they just get straight to the point. Just like this Sonakas multi limiter right here. And it has a threshold button where you just bring the threshold down, and whenever that threshold starts to meet your maximum volume where you at now, the gain starts to increase. And so this is basically how this specific plugin works. You know, most plugins do have this kind of function where you bring the threshold down. You know, and that's okay. You know, and that's how you do. You'll just bring the threshold down, mess with the release on it, and how you want the release. You just get it how you want it. And this one also has certain channels where you can bring up the gain and the drive. This is just this specific plugin. You know, that's why I say invest in plugins, because I mean every plugin different. Some plugins may have way more than other plugins. Some plugins I mean, they may have everything you need on that plugin. You know, you don't even have to go get other plugins to do other stuff. Okay. This plugin is the same way. We just bring. This is the E Maximizer by Bluetooth Nomad. You just bring the threshold down right here. They have an out ceiling. You know, basically, most limiters gonna have an out ceiling where you want it to stop at. If we stopped it at 6 decibels, we would definitely hear it. We would definitely hear that squishing. You know, because we already at a 6 decibel. It's kind of low, and it's gonna be just pushing it. But you know, we're gonna keep it at like, you know, most people just keep it at a 0. You know, if you just want to get it to the loudest it can be. You know, they have the same kind of functions as the last one. And then the last one we're gonna look at is the Buzz Maxi 3 plugin. It's basically the same as this E Maximizer. It's a maximizer, but this one has different types of mode. You have an aggressive mode and you have a smooth mode. You know, see, like I say, different plugins have different functions, and I mean, this may be the difference between what you want and what you don't want. So, I mean, you gotta choose wisely. But like I say, here's the out ceiling. Most plugins have it. Matter of fact, every limiter plugin has it. An out ceiling. Where do you want the volume to stop? You know, me, I would stop. My opinion, I would stop it at a 0.5 decibels. You know, just to make sure you don't go over. You know, just to keep it nice and clean. You know, you don't want to have it right there by 0, and it's just so close to clipping. You know, it's just so close. You don't really want that, you know. And then it just has a makeup how much you want to raise it up. You can not you can raise it up all the way to 23. 23.3. Oh, nope, higher than that. 24 decibels. That's as high as you can go on this plugin. That's pretty high. That's pretty high. All right. So, and I'm gonna talk